The 9-day gun season in Wisconsin is a huge tradition for many people, and opening weekend is something our deer camp looks forward to every year. Alrighty, deer camp 2022 just rolled up to the cabin. There is way more snow up here than at home. This is awesome. This is the most snow I've seen for the opener of gun season in a long time. It is cold too though. Tomorrow's going to be a cold sit, and I'm going to give one last sit with the bow tonight before rifle season, so I'm just quickly getting unloaded, getting unpacked. I'm going to try to sit tonight with the bow, and then we'll get into the gun deer camp shenanigans. So looking forward to it, one of my favorite times of the year. Alrighty, this is it. Last sit with the bow before gun season. It is cold and snowy, which, I mean, I love the snow. Sitting in a spot I haven't sat at all this year. And the last time I sat this spot in the snow, I had a really good hunt, saw a couple nice bucks. But hunting over this food plot, the snow is fresh. I mean, it came down last night. It got like 2-3 inches in the last 2 days. And then I'm hunting this big field. This is actually the field I sit over with the gun, so this weekend I'll be sitting 70 yards that way in a box blind with a gun in my hand. But I'm running a really risky wind right now. Blowing straight like that. I'm hoping to shoot these deer out here to my left. So I have, where they should be coming from, I have a short window before they get downwind of me, but I'm hoping that the wind is in their favor and I have just enough edge on it that if a buck comes out tonight, I should get a shot. There's nothing cooler than blood trailing a deer in the snow, so I might also, if I get a good shot at doe tonight, I haven't shot a deer with my bow yet this year, I might do it before gun season just to do it with my bow rather than a gun. But it's cold, really cold, and I don't know, it's beautiful out here though. It keeps snowing kind of on and off, and this is great. I'm pumped for gun hunting, but I would love to get it done with a bow before that. So we'll see what happens. Alright, so after seeing this hunt, and particularly that last buck, I didn't get great footage of him because he's in between trees at a little bit of distance, and we just kind of caught a glimpse of him. But this is a real heavy 10-pointer that's kind of tall and heavy, and I just want to talk a little bit about my season so far up to this point. I haven't put out any bow hunting videos from Wisconsin this year, mostly because I've been so busy traveling, hunting for my job, that I haven't gotten all that much time to hunt here in Wisconsin for myself. I've been out of state on a bunch of hunts for Alpha Dog Nutrition, and I've had limited time, but in that limited time, I've had some amazing encounters throughout the season. Unfortunately, a lot of them aren't on film, and I could go on and on about all the mishaps, close calls, and just missed shot opportunities, but all I want to talk about today is one hunt that I had in particular, where I saw one of my number one hit list deer, Jack Daniels. I had an encounter with him early on in the day, and then this buck we just saw on tonight's hunt early on in that day. And then what happened was, right about at, close to the end of shooting time, there's probably 20-30 minutes of shooting light left. I'm looking out the window, and this buck is crossing through one of my shooting lanes. So I turn my camera on, spin it, point it at the next lane that I think he's going to walk through, and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, and he never walks through it. So I'm like, what's going on? Well, eventually I see him turn back, and he's standing broadside in this same shooting lane that he originally walked through. So I didn't have the camera on him, but I came to full draw. He's at like 28 yards. I have my 20-yard pin up on his lungs, my 30-yard pin buried in his heart, and it was a rainy, dreary day. It was supposed to rain all night, and I'm sitting there ready to pull the trigger, and I didn't. I just let down. And the thing was, I was hunting about 100 yards from one of our property lines, and something, I try not to talk too much about it, but our neighbors they don't let us, if we shoot a deer and it runs onto their land, they won't let us go blood trail it. If they're there, they will pick up the blood trail themselves, go look for it, and bring the deer back. But it's one of those things where we don't necessarily want to bother them. We don't want to make a big deal out of things that don't have to be a big deal. And it's just also like, it's something that constantly goes through my mind. So I'm sure a lot of people are asking, if this is a situation, why do you even hunt close to the property line? And the thing is, we only have 60 acres to work with, and the way our land is kind of laid out, the center of that is a big pine plantation where we just don't have many stands because it's not great for hunting. It's not conducive to hunting. So some of our best stands, unfortunately, are fairly close to that property line where that's a situation. And even if I were to double lung that deer, there's still a possibility that it might just maybe make it onto their land, and I wouldn't be able to go get it that night. And if they weren't there with all the rain, the blood trail could be washed away by the next day. And then for sure, if I put even somewhat of a marginal hit on that deer and had to back out, the rain would have washed the blood trail away too, and we never would have found it, because if they won't let us go look for it, and if there's no blood trail for them to follow, they're not going to go look for my deer for me. So that was in the back of my mind, and it's one of those things where I regret it, because here I have one of my target bucks at 28 yards broadside, but especially after the mishap, if you watch a video in Texas, I put a bad shot on the deer down there that we weren't able to recover, and if for some reason something did go wrong, I just wouldn't have been able to live with myself doing that twice in 1 year. So that is the story of this exact buck that I saw again tonight. Unfortunately, he didn't come into range. He was at about 80 to 100 yards when you saw him there. I thought for sure he was going to come out and kind of kitty corner the corner of that field that I was hunting, but he went and turned and walked the other way. But it was great to see that deer again, and I just wanted to give a little bit of an update on everything that's, there's some of the things anyway that's happened through this bow season, because I just haven't made any videos because I didn't have enough content to make a video that I thought would be interesting. But it's been a good bow season so far. Lots of close calls, lots of just missed opportunities where maybe I should have shot and I didn't, or I could have pulled the shot off, but I wanted to have some patience and make sure everything was perfect. So that's kind of the story. So that happened. That was the last deer I saw that night. I was super stoked for the next day. Now let's get into the gun deer camp shenanigans. The good stuff.
It's clear cut, ain't it?
Pickle egg contest, 2 wins.
It's tough.
Yeah,
They're both very, very good.
Yeah. Alright. I have not been
I gotta say bird. I gotta say bird.
for the 37th year in a row.
How you feeling about the morning?
Oh, she had a better crew. Bunch of trouble making
Hot stirs.
pot stirs.
How is it that the oldest guy has the best technology in socks?
Electric socks a la mama. Big buck going down.
Alrighty, it is opening day of rifle season here in Wisconsin. I've already heard a couple shots. It is a freaking cold, snowy day, which is awesome. I can see forever, but it is cold. I'm sitting over the same field I was bow hunting over last night, and where I had that same, there's a real nice buck that I've had 3 encounters with so far this year. I was at full draw and I'm at 28 yards. I decided not to take the shot because it was raining pretty hard. I saw him one other time out of the stand, and then last night I was hunting just over here and I saw him. He came up to this field and kind of walked the edge of it away from me and never got in shooting range with the bow. So I'm hoping to see that joker with a gun, because he's a pretty nice deer. The rest of the boys are out. I really haven't shown much bow hunting content because this year I haven't filmed much, but we've seen lots of really good deer this year, so I'm super excited. I think someone in our crew is going to shoot a good buck today, so we just got to stick it out through the cold and something should happen. Alright, a crucial part of these all-day sits is having proper snacking materials. We've only been in the stand for an hour and a half. Snack number one of these cookies my mom makes. Looking forward to snacks is what keeps me going. Someone's at the outhouse right now. Got our first outhouse visitor of the morning. Right, it is time for snack number 2 of the day, or breakfast, and this is my absolute favorite snack. I've got my thermos here with a burrito. These are the burritos Chris and I propped up, wrapped in tinfoil. We had them going on we woke up an hour early, put them right on the wood stove, kept rotating them so it should be nice and hot. Let's see what we got here. Now the tinfoil is a little loud, but it's so worth it. It's still steaming. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah. Nice and warm. We got eggs, green peppers, onions, sausage, hash browns in here. Warms you right up. Game changer. today has been non-existent. I promise you, I've actually seen probably 20 deer. But what's weird is normally I have deer in this field like all day. Groups of does coming in, feeding, and every once in a while a buck will cruise through. So today I've seen probably 20, 30 deer, but none of them have came in the field until now. They've all stayed just in that woods line, which is why I haven't been able to get footage. Also, it's so cold I keep having to take the battery out of the camera and put it in my little muff pack here with some hand warmers to warm it up. But I've seen a bunch of doe. I saw one decent 10-pointer at around 8 o'clock this morning. He was walking just along the woods line, and could have shot him, but he was just a little bit too small. He was a nice deer, but he was only like 13 inches wide. Definitely like a 2-year-old or 3-year-old 10-pointer. And then I saw another forkhorn and a small basket rack 8. But this group of deer came out, and normally I really wanted to hold out for a buck today because we've been seeing some really nice ones around. But after just not having any shots, I needed to get some venison in the freezer. I shot 4 deer last year, and I am like almost out of venison, so I eat a lot of venison, my kids and I. So I shot that one right here, and then I noticed there was another mature doe standing there right on the wood line, and she was about to go, so I didn't have time to turn the camera or anything, but I dropped her too. So I got 2 deer down. There's about an hour left of light. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I promise I've had a much better hunt and seen a lot more deer than the footage shows. But I am, even though I didn't get that buck I was wanting for, I was really hoping to see that tall 10-pointer that I've had 3 encounters with and saw last night, just 100 yards over right here. I'm definitely stoked to have meat in the freezer because I have like 2 pounds of grind left from last year, and that's it. So that's awesome. Alright, so that was my deer opener. I shot those 2 doe. My dad also ended up shooting a doe that day and bird shot several doe as well. Unfortunately, no bucks were on the buck pole for opening weekend, which is actually, pretty rare. And unfortunately for me, that was the only 2 days I got to hunt out of the Wisconsin gun season. I had to go on another duck hunting trip out of state for work. And that's where it stood. So I got my 2 deer in Wisconsin with a gun for meat. I'm going to see if I can't sneak out for some late season bow hunting, and then we're going crane hunting soon down in Texas with Dirty Texas Outfitters again for Alpha Dog Nutrition. But while I'm down there, I'm hoping to pick up a rifle and maybe get some redemption in Texas. So that was it. That was the update for now. I'm hoping to put some more videos out soon, so we'll see you in the next one.